In this video we're going to do Lab 6 Part 2 or Sheet 2, the slotted angle block. If you click on this link here, the PDF, you get a preview of what we're going to be making. Go over to SolidWorks and do a new part. You can either go to the new icon, hit Control N, or go to the File New. Double click on a part file or select it and hit OK. Open up a part file. Alright, the toggle between two screens, I'm going to hold down the Alt key on the keyboard and tap the Tab key, and you can preview other pages. I'm going to put the front view on the front plane. So over here on the left side of my screen I got front plane, top plane, and right plane. I'm going to hover over the front plane and click on it. We'll open up these icons and I'm going to put a sketch on the front plane. Another thing you could do is click on the sketch toolbar, click on the sketch icon, and if it doesn't automatically select one, you can choose the front plane. Make sure the front plane is highlighted orange and not one of your other planes. Alright, first thing we want to start with is the line tool. Click on the line tool, or L. And it's always a good idea to start your drawings on the origin. The red arrows are the origin, so click there to start. Move your mouse straight over to the right. And our first distance from side to side isn't listed here, but remember the front view lines up with this top view. And the top view length is 4 inches, which means that this is 4 inches. So I'm going to go roughly about 4. I'm at 4.07, close enough, and click. Now I'm going to come up 0.5. So I'm going to go up about 0.5. You don't have to be exact because we'll smart dimension it later. 0.51 is close enough, and click. Now I don't know the length of this line and I don't know the angle, but I'm just going to draw this profile without the inside stuff, and then I'll smart dimension it to get everything the right length. So I'm going to come up at an angle and a distance, I don't know, something like that, good enough. Go straight over and click, and then go down at an angle. Now, see how I get this upside down yellow T looking icon? That's the perpendicular relationship, and it's making this line perpendicular to that line. We don't want that. So move your mouse so that that perpendicular relationship goes away. So there, it's on. Now it's away. Also make sure this line lines up with your origin with those dotted lines. Click, and then go down to the origin and click, and there you go. If you did it right, it should fill it in gray. If it's not filled in gray, you might have a gap somewhere. Alright, we need to smart dimension it. Turn on smart dimensions, go up to the sketch toolbar, turn on smart dimensions, and I want to make this line 4, so I'm going to click on that line. Notice the dimension automatically detects the endpoints on the left and right. Place your dimension on your screen, click, and type in the distance you want, 4. You can hit enter or hit the green check mark. Alright, if we remember this height was 0.5, so I'm going to click on this line, move my mouse out to the side, click to place it down, 0.5 and enter. Alright, let's go over to this side. This line here is 1.25. So click on this vertical line to select it, click again to place it down, and we said 1.25 and enter. Alright, now to do this 2 inches, we're going to click on the top line and then the bottom line. So click on the top line, click on the bottom line, and notice that the dimension changes. And you want to move this dimension to the outside past the 1.25. That's good drafting practice. You also should try to put the number in the middle of the arrows. So don't put it down here or like this. Put it right there in between. Click to place it down, type in 2 and enter. Alright, we have 1 inch here. Click on your slanted line. Now notice that my dimension is slanted, but over here it's horizontal. Move your mouse straight up until it turns horizontal, then click to place it down. Okay, and it's 1 inch, so 1 and enter. Now, we still have a blue line, which means we're missing a dimension. Right here, 2.5 goes from there to there. Now I have this point already selected, so what I'm going to do is click on this point first, and see how I deselected those, and then click on this point second, move your mouse straight up so it goes horizontal, click to place it down, and 2.5, and enter. I'm going to click on move this dimension out, it got shifted. Alright, notice that you should have 6 dimensions, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put the same 6 dimensions in the same location I have them, and if you do that right, everything should get black, which means that it's fully defined, meaning that we have all the dimensions we need and relationships. Now let me show you something here. Let me show you what a mistake that you might run into. If these 2 lines, when you made them, were perpendicular, see how it's black but I'm missing that dimension? Because this relationship is getting in the way. Watch, if I turn on Smart Dimension and click on this point and this point, I'm going to get an error message saying it's over-defined. Adding this dimension will make the sketch over-defined, which is not good. You don't hit OK, you hit cancel and fix it. And the problem is this perpendicular relationship. So to delete that, I have to hit escape, turn off my Smart Dimensions, click on the green thing so it's blue, the green relationship, and you can right click and delete it, and there you go. Now it's deleted. So now I can go back, Smart Dimension. Of course, if you did it right the first time, you don't need to do any of this. What was that dimension? 2.5, 2.5 and enter. Alright, so there's our sketch. Now, I want to extrude boss base it. So go to my features panel, click on extruded boss base, and the thickness from front to back is what? From front to back would be the top view, front to back, or 2 inches. So go to your distance 1, type in 2 and enter. I like to hit enter so it previews and updates so I can see it before I hit the OK check mark. Alright, that's what I want. Hit OK, check mark. And there it is. Okay, you can spin it around and check it out. Once you're done kind of looking at it, go back to your view orientation, click the little drop down arrow, and go over the blue cube, which if you hover over says isometric. Keyboard shortcut is Control-7. That way we're looking at it all in the same view. Next, I want to cut out this little slot, this rectangular slot that's going through the side. So I'm going to put a sketch on this right side. So I'm going to go in my sketch tab. I'm going to click on the sketch icon and put that, hover over this vertical side and click on it to place the sketch. Notice that it now says sketch 2 over here in my design tree. I have my sketch icons and I have my little origin. Alright, I like to draw it straight on looking at it, so I'm going to go to my view orientation drop down, and you can either go to the right view here, or you could just click on the right side of the cube. Either way is fine. You could also hit Control 4, which I never remember. Alright, so we're in a sketch mode still, sketch 2. I'm going to click on the rectangle tool, the corner rectangle tool. Click on that to activate it. Hover over, make sure you connect it with a relationship, that little yellow icon on this bottom line. Click, let go of the mouse, drag it out, get a rectangle about that size and about that location. Click to put down the other corner. Alright, let's dimension it. Click on Smart Dimensions. Click on the left side here. Click on this vertical line of our rectangle. Drop it down below and place it down. And we need a distance of 0.75. See how there's arrows and then the line extends out from the arrows? 0.75. So type it in, 0.75, and enter. Next we need the 0.5 from side to side. So click on the left side, click on the right side, move your mouse down and click to place it down. 0.5 and enter. And we need the height, 1 inch from bottom to top. So click on the bottom, click on the top. Again, it's not good to put the dimensions on the part, you should put them off to the side. Click to place it down, type in 1 and enter. Alright, those are the only 3 dimensions we need for this slot on the side. Notice that everything is black and fully defined, that's good. Go to my features panel. And this time I'm going to rotate this around with my middle mouse button and zoom out just so you can kind of see what we're doing. You could also hit Control 7 if you wanted to do it from an isometric view. I'm going to do an extruded cut because we're going to cut out. Click on extruded cut. By default it's going back on mine 2 inches. We're going to change it where it says blind. Click this little drop down where it says blind and click through all. Okay, now if I'm going too fast for you, YouTube has a way that you can slow down the speed of the video, or if I'm going too slow, you can speed up the speed of the video. That's one thing nice about YouTube. Alright, so I have this cutting through all. I'm going to hit the green check mark for OK. And I clicked on my screen to deselect that little sketch that was showing up there. And you can spin around and see your little cut you made. Alright, let's go back to our isometric view. If you're on the screen, you can hit Control 7. You can go up here and click on isometric. You could even click on the corner of this cube, I think. Let me try it. Yep. Alright, next we need to cut out the corner here. There's a chamfer. That's called a chamfer. 0.5 in length, 45 degrees for the angle. So up top on my features panel, find the fillet, and there's a little arrow. Click on the drop down arrow and fillet and chamfer. And chamfer and fillet are together in almost every drafting program. Alright, so find chamfer and click on it to activate it. It says items to chamfer. When you're in the features tool, you're going to click and select the corner you want to cut off. I want to cut off that corner. So I'm going to click on it. Over here on the left, turn on full preview and you can get a preview of what it's going to cut out. Notice that we have a couple of options here. We have angle and distance by default. We have distance, and some other options. Well, how do we know which one we want? Well, there's an angle here. Since there's an angle here, we know we want one with an angle. So the angle is 45 degrees by default, because that's the most common. Our distance we said is 0.5. We don't need to add the 0. So here D for distance, 0.5. I'm going to hit enter to preview it, to update it. Notice that this updated, and that is what I want. So I hit the green check mark for OK. Alright, and then you can kind of check it out, what you did. I like to go back to my isometric view, Control 7. Congratulations on creating the part. Let's make sure you save it. File, save as. And you can call it Lab 6, Sheet 2, Angle Block. And find somewhere to organize your files. I have a SolidWorks folder, so everything I'm doing in SolidWorks is going on a SolidWorks folder. And hit save. Alright, in the next video I'll show you how to do the title block drawing sheet.